We have Sedrick, and he is ready for your questions. First one here on your left front row.
Hey, Sedrick, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good, good. Jacques Doucet from WAFB in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I guess this is ancient history, but LSU fans want to know how a guy of your caliber from New Orleans gets out and goes to Georgia.
I don't think it was anything LSU did wrong. I have tremendous respect for their program. I think it's great. I just felt that Georgia was the best place for myself and my family, so that's what I went with.
We'll go on the fourth row on the left.
Dan Peck, ESPN 1067. It's a good problem to have, but how do you sort of put the national championship behind you and get focused on the 2022 season?
I think you have to be competitive. That's definitely something that we preach to, our team, is just making sure that you're competitive every day, competing with each other and making each other better. I think the more competitive you are and focus on every rep, every game, every week, you have no choice but to kind of put it behind you and, get better.
To your right on the third row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station, kind of going off that same thing. Do you feel like this team has another level to get to, and what signs have you seen that you guys are not being complacent and getting better this offseason?
I like how connected this team is, if I'm being honest. Connection was definitely something that we preached last year, but I think this year guys spending time outside of football together, going break bread, fellowship, guys going to church together, cookouts, those type of things. I think those are the type of things, the minute details that help you win in the long run.
We'll stay on the right, second row.
Hey, man, Ben Bobick, Local 3 in Chattanooga. You and Ladd McConkey came in the same year, right?
Yes, sir.
So how have you seen him work hard and develop and get better, and have you seen him become a leader in that wide receiver room and amongst the team?
I can't say anything that I think people don't know about Ladd. Ladd is extremely hardworking, great guy. And I think the best thing about Ladd's process is through everything he's went through, he was really humble about it. Never complained, never, I should be getting more reps, put his head down and worked. And when he got his chance, he thrived. And I've said this to Ladd personally, but, that's somebody that I look up to, and I try to model myself after is Ladd.
To your left, second row.
Josh Rowe, WTBC in Chattanooga. What does experiencing and seeing the level it takes to win a national championship do for you personally moving forward in your career?
It's a good question. I think that it just allows me to lead my guys to a position to win. I think that's what I want to say on it. I want to say that my goal is to lead guys to a position where they can put themselves in a position to win and help the team out.
Right here, second row.
Anthony Patterson with Dealing on the Voice. Of course, on the national title run, it's a lot of growing pains, it's a lot of ups and downs. For you, what do you remember the most about that run and how you can take it into this season?
The work. I think that's what I remember the most, the work. 100% last year, we worked hard and, guys were connected. So I think carrying over into this year is a focus to make sure that we compete and work hard every day.
To your right, third row.
Cody Chaffins, Fox 5 Atlanta. Nolan was in here a little bit. He fills up a room, right? And I'm sure at practice every day he is big and loud. That's got to be great as a leader for a team, but it also can probably be annoying for an offense when he's on the defensive side of the ball in practice, always yapping. What's it like playing with him?
I think it's great because at the end of the day, when you get in the game, guys are going to talk too. So how are you going to tell that guy to be quiet when all he's bringing this positive energy to the team? So definitely a good guy, to have around. I love him, and I appreciate him.
We'll stay here on the right, third row.
How have you seen Stetson grow, just over the last year, and just what are your expectations for him and just playing alongside him, into this year?
I don't think I have any personal expectations for Stetson. Ultimately, our team goal is to win, but I can definitely say I've seen Stetson grow as a quarterback, as a leader. Doesn't have to be super vocal all the time and yelling at guys, but you see if somebody's struggling, hey, man, lean on me. I got your back. Those type of things. Spending extra time in the film room. Those type of things that I think make an elite quarterback. I've seen Stetson do. So I'm really proud of him and his growth.
To your left on the fourth row.
One of the big questions for Georgia this year is how do you replace so many of the players who went in the NFL draft this past year? Is there anyone in particular that has really impressed you this offseason in the way that they've stepped up in the absence of some of the key players from last year's team?
I think the key is to not focus on trying to replace guys, but uphold the standard, uphold what Georgia does, and uphold what the guys behind you have done. I don't think you have to be that player, but I definitely think that there's a certain standard at Georgia, and you uphold yourself to it.
On the front row here.
Cedric, when a team would win a Super Bowl, they'd be concerned about how many guys be doing commercials and whatnot after, winning it all. As a guy on a national championship team in the new age of NIL, what was it like? Do you feel like a lot of people were trying to get players to do NIL deals, and how do you control that and not make it be a distraction?
I think guys are going to do NIL, and I think that's great. But the biggest thing I can say is, guys haven't lost focus of we're here to win games. At the end of the day, as student athletes, of course we're going to get our education and those things. But when you're on the football field, it's time to work. It's time to win football games. So NIL really isn't discussed in the locker room, things like that. It's about winning for the University of Georgia.
Second row, the aisle.
Offensively, what do you feel? Well, obviously you're on offense, but where do you feel like you've taken strides to make sure that offense and everything is in flow from your part?
Personally, I think the biggest thing for myself has been just trying to lead guys who need to be led. Spending that extra time with guys, hey, let's work out on the weekend. Let's, stretch. Let's get in the hot tub. Let's take care of our body, those type of things. And, just trying to push guys to be the best version of themselves, I think has been my biggest stride.
Another question here on the right, third row.
The NIL rules have been in place for about a year now. So what have you seen? I mean, from your perspective, has it changed anything about college football? And, if so, how?
No, sir. I don't see any change. I think ultimately everybody wants to win. Everybody's goal is to win their conference, win their division, win the championship. So ultimately that is a change through NIL.
Final question on the left, fourth row.
You got your first taste of the Auburn-Georgia rivalry last year. You got to start at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Your thoughts on the significance of continuing the streak over Auburn as a Georgia player?
Personally, I don't think that we should so much focus on just trying to beat Auburn. I think every week you have to go in and focus on your opponent. So much respect for their program and everything they have done. I have tremendous amount of respect for them. I think they're a great team, but I think you just have to take it week by week.
Cedric, thank you very much.
Thank you.